I noticed it all over the floor and it was flying through the air and there was just smoke everywhere. And I was like, wait, because my mind just wouldn't compute that it was actually a real fire. Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katrina. Welcome. I'm so glad you clicked on my video today. Today I have another weekly grocery haul and meal plan for you all, but because this week's grocery haul is a lot smaller than usual, I've actually decided to add in a what I eat in a day to the end of today's video. So definitely stay tuned for that if you wanted to get some meal ideas throughout the day, or if you were just curious to see how I eat during the day. A lot of these foods my kids actually eat alongside me as well. So I will share that at the end of the video. But before we get into today's video, I wanted to let you all know that today's grocery haul is a collab with Bethanie from over on Budget Bethanie. She shares grocery hauls every single week, just like me. And she also shares a what's for dinner video every single week as well. I'm pretty sure those videos are out every single Sunday, and then her grocery hauls are out every Thursday. So if you love that kind of content, definitely head on over to her channel and check her out. Say hi, let her know that I sent you. I will leave the links to her channel in the description box down below, so it is easy for you to head on over there once you are done watching my video today. But with all of that said, actually, I do need to mention before we get into today's video, I am so frazzled. So a little bit of a public service announcement, a PSA here. Do not keep your paper towel next to your stovetop. Now that you're probably sitting there thinking, there's fire, paper, don't really mix well together. And you know, I like to consider myself pretty smart, but my paper towel's been sitting there, mind you, it's been sitting next to my stove forever now. I reckon like at least 3 years, I don't know, since I got the paper towel holder. It's been sitting there. And anyways, we got super unlucky tonight. I've just been cleaning up for like the last 2 hours. So I told you I'm frazzled. So I put all of the vegetables on the stove and I was actually early with dinner. So I was so proud of myself. I had dinner on early and you know, everything was going really smoothly and I should have known that something would go wrong. But then I took the kids outside and we were playing outside on the grass, on the swings and things like that. And then next minute the smoke alarm started going off, and this happens quite often because I have the worst habit of not turning on the exhaust fan above the stovetop. I don't know why, but my mind always forgets to turn that on. So normally just the steam from like the vegetables or anything we're cooking sets the smoke alarm off anyway. And so normally I'm just like, oh, you know, go grab the towel and shake it in front of it to get it to turn off. But this time I ran inside just thinking, oh, you know, it's just the steam or something like that. Silly me, I got to turn the exhaust fan on. And I ran inside and the first thing that I saw was like little sort of biggish black bits all inside the back door, like sort of flying around as well, but they looked solid on first glance. And my first thought was, oh no, one of the black pots has exploded on the stove. I don't know how this has happened. Maybe I didn't put enough water in the pots. I had no idea what was going on. So I keep coming in. I sort of froze for what felt like a few minutes, but it was probably only a couple seconds because I was trying to figure out what this black stuff was. And when I came in the kitchen, I noticed it all over the floor and it was flying through the air and there was just smoke everywhere. And I was like, wait, because my mind just wouldn't compute that it was actually a real fire. And I looked at the stove and the pots were still in place and everything was fine. And I couldn't really tell that the paper towels on the side were on fire. But again, it probably only took like 1 or 2 seconds before I did realize. It just felt like everything was going in slow motion. So then when I did realize that the paper towels were on fire and it was like going up into the vents and everything, I just screamed out. Luckily, my partner was working from home today. So I just screamed out to him and I said, it's a real one this time. Like it's normally just a false alarm. So he even just sat in the chair. Where he works is just outside that room is the smoke alarm. So he could have easily come out and like, you know, waved it off. And it's kind of lucky that he didn't because it normally is a false alarm. It's kind of lucky he didn't because he could have come out, done that, and I would have just forgotten about it. And the fire in here could have been so much worse. The only bit that really got burnt is under the upper cupboard, which is actually right above the paper towels. So my partner, anyway, he ran out. I had the fire extinguisher ready to go and he's just like, no, wait, like he just obviously didn't want to waste the fire extinguisher. To be honest, it wasn't that big of a fire, so I understand why he didn't want to do that, but he just grabbed the paper towels and we just threw them outside and just started throwing buckets on them. There was 2 paper towels, by the way, which of all times for me to double stack the paper towel. I don't know why I did it. And to be honest, the paper towel's been there forever. So I'm trying to figure out still why it happened. The only thing I can think of is it was a windy day today. So when I opened the back door to go outside to play with the kids, maybe it like flew open one sheet and then somehow the wind got the fire started. I don't know. But anyways, that's just a little interesting story, or FYI or PSA. Don't keep your paper towel next to your stovetop because it's not fun what happened tonight. But anyways, we got really lucky. No one is hurt. Mum, if you're watching this, we're all fine. Anyways, if you are ready to get some new dinner ideas, go ahead and give this video a huge thumbs up. We'll get into the meal plan. Then I will show you all of the sales that I got in this week's grocery haul. And then I will insert all of yesterday's clips of what I eat in a day. So let's get into it. So I feel like the meal plan this week is fairly similar to last week, but on Monday night we're going to be having garlic and herb schnitzels with mashed potato and gravy, and then on Tuesday night I've been making up a double batch of mashed potatoes when I make it now, just so that it's not so much work each night. So we're going to be having mashed potatoes again the second night, just going to be reheating the leftovers from the big batch that I'll make the night before. And then I also didn't get around to making the barbecue pork ribs that we brought last week, so I thought I'd go ahead and bring them forward this week so they don't get wasted, and I'm going to cook those up with some mash and just put some green beans on the side. Then on Wednesday night we're having Old Faithful ravioli bolognese. We have that every week here. On Thursday night we're having sweet potato soup with garlic bread. I made up a huge double batch of that a week or two ago now, and there is still some in the freezer, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. And I also got some garlic bread to go with that this week. It was for anyone interested, it was a pretty good recipe, except if I was to do it again, I would definitely choose pumpkin soup over sweet potato soup. But the point of this recipe was to use up all of the pre-diced sweet potato that was in our freezer. So it got used up, it served its purpose, but next time I will definitely be making our favorite pumpkin soup. Then on Friday night, we're having fish with sheet pan vegetables. So basically just a whole bunch of roasted vegetables with some fish on a sheet pan, and it's a super easy and a quick dinner. Then on Saturday night, we're having carbonara tortellini, and on Sunday night, I'm going to be making up those vegetable nuggets that I've made here before on my channel. I'll leave the link to that recipe in my description box down below, and then we're just going to be pairing that with some mac and cheese that night. So that's everything that is on the meal plan this week. I hope this gave you some new dinner ideas. It's not too different to last week's. I feel like I'm running out of meal inspiration lately, so if you have a meal plan that you want to share with me, definitely let me know in the comments down below what you're eating this week. I would love some new ideas from you guys as well. But moving on to the grocery haul, so this one is quite a small one this week, which is why I'm adding in my what I eat in a day to this video. But I just grabbed some of this Just Right cereal. So this was half price. It was down to $2.70 something a box, I'm pretty sure. So I wanted to grab that to stock up. That's the cereal that I love, and my 4-year-old started eating that too, so it's going a lot quicker lately. I also grabbed a big 4-kilo bag of potatoes for the couple nights that we're having mashed potatoes, and also the 4-kilo bag was cheaper than the 2-kilo bag, which happens every now and then, so I do like to make sure that I grab the big 4-kilo one when that happens. I also grabbed a big bag of nappies here. They were $5 off this week, so not a huge sale, but they were pretty good. A lot of items though were half price in this grocery haul, so we did save a ton of money. I think actually we only saved around $40, but this grocery haul was $150 from memory, so it's still a really good saving considering how much we spent. I also grabbed some of our favorite Proactive in the buttery flavor. If you have Proactive and you haven't tried the buttery one, it tastes so good. It takes a while to well, it's not as good as butter, but we used to have the Western Star butter and that stuff is the bomb, but we had to move on to this one recently. So the buttery flavored one though, it takes a little while to get used to, but it's actually really nice now. We've been having this for over 6 months now, and it tastes really good for a, you know, healthy alternative, I suppose. Then we've also grabbed a big family pack of the chicken nuggets. Sometimes when we have things like the barbecue pork ribs and stuff like that, the kids don't eat it, so we just throw on some of these nuggets for them, and then they have that with the mashed potatoes and vegetables. For fruit this week, we grabbed a big bunch of bananas here. We also grabbed a couple punnets of strawberries as usual, and also just a 1 kilo of the red apples. We are going through them like candy lately, which is great. I'm not complaining about that. We didn't get much in the way of vegetables this week, but we just got this little bag of green beans. That's to go with a couple meals this week, so that will be used up super quick. That won't last long at all. But I've also still got a couple random bags bags of vegetables in the freezer that we can use up on the sheet pan vegetable nights. I also grabbed 4 tins of my partner's spaghetti sauce with beef. I don't feel like anyone should buy this. It's not that great. It sort of reminds me of dog food, but my partner loves it. He's been eating it for years. He's a creature of habit, and I don't want to take, if he took away chocolate from me, I'd be pretty upset. So I feel like this sauce is like as if I was to take away chocolate from myself. So I won't do it. I continue to buy this for him and he loves it. I also grabbed my youngest these apple, pear and cinnamon porridge pouches that she loves. It just makes for a super easy snack in the afternoon, or even something to throw alongside her breakfast to keep her full. We also grabbed a packet of our favorite Essentials Woolworths brand garlic bread. This one is my favorite by far. I have tried pretty much every single garlic bread that there is at Woolworths because when I was pregnant, I pretty much lived on this stuff. It was all I craved. But this one I keep coming back to time and time again. It just tastes so good. It's $1.99 I think for a double pack. There's 2 in there, so I just think it's such good value for money. I also went ahead and stocked up on our Parmesan cheese this week. So this is also the Essentials Woolworths brand. I think it's a $1.50 maybe, but super cheap, and it's just what we put on top of our ravioli bolognese. It's fine. I don't feel like it tastes any different to, oh well, actually that's a lie. It does taste different to the Kraft, I think it's Kraft Parmesan cheese. It doesn't have that really strong overpowering smell to it. It's a bit more mild, but it still makes a huge difference on top of the ravioli. I also grabbed 4 packets this week of our favorite sour cream and chive potato mash. If you haven't tried this before, you need to add it to your cart next time you go shopping. This transforms potato mash into the best dish ever. You won't go back once you've put this in your mashed potatoes. It tastes so good. I think they're about $1.50 though, so not the cheapest. It does add to the meal, but they're so worth it. They taste amazing. Razors were half price this week, so I went ahead and grabbed a packet of those. I think they were $5 for that pack of 3. And then I also grabbed a little jar of cream here. So a little backstory here. I've been swapping out our cream in recipes for evaporated milk because I'm always learning over here, and I love when you guys comment and, teach me new things about food and, health related things. I love that and I appreciate it so much. But I was definitely talked into getting evaporated milk and trying that out instead because it seems a lot healthier. It's lower fat. But then I also got told recently that because it's lower fat, it means it's a lot higher in sugar. And I looked that up just briefly. I did a little Google, and it's true. There is a ton more sugar in evaporated milk than there is in cream, but there's a lot more fat in cream than there is in evaporated milk. So I'm on the fence of which one's better to be having. So if I could leave a little poll on here like I can on Instagram, I would. But comment down below whether you think that cream or evaporated milk is a healthier choice, or more specifically, whether fat in your diet or sugar in your diet is probably a really stupid question. But which one do you actually think is probably the better alternative? I'm really confused on that now, and I don't know which one to go with. But anyways, long story short, when I was Googling, someone just made a good point that fresh is best, and cream is fresher than evaporated milk, I suppose. So I've gone with cream this week. Try to sway me the other way if you want, or keep me on the cream team, but just leave your comments down below of what you think is the healthier alternative in the long run. I also went ahead and grabbed a little thing of sour cream here. I just love chucking this on top of the ravioli bolognese, or just pretty much any meal actually, except for the carbonara. It's creamy enough, but I just love sour cream. I'm a bit of an addict to that. It tastes good on pretty much any dinner, in my opinion. I stocked up on the boxed frozen fish this week. You guys know I have this on my meal plan every week with sheet pan vegetables. It's just a super easy dinner that gets thrown together and cooks in 20-30 minutes. So these were half price this week, which is pretty much the only time I like to stock up on them. They were $5 a box. It makes them so much cheaper than having to pay the $10 that they usually are. So I got 2 boxes of the lightly battered ones, and then I got 2 boxes of the original crumb. I used to only get the original crumb, and a few weeks ago I tried the lightly battered, and it really is really lightly battered. I thought I wouldn't like it because I thought it'd be, too much and wouldn't taste as healthy as the crumbed one, except it's so light, the batter on there, that it's just perfect. So I'm now converted to the battered ones, but I still grab some crumb ones because I'm not sure if the kids will which ones they all prefer. But anyways, I've stocked up on those now. There is plenty in the freezer, so I'm super happy about that. I also grabbed these chicken schnitzels, so they are the garlic and herb ones. We've never had these ones before, but they looked good, so I thought I would grab those and give them a try. I do all my shopping online on the Woolworths grocery app, so they looked good online. They look pretty good in person too, so I'm happy about that. And then I also grabbed more of these boxes of the Crave bars. You will see this in my what I eat in a day. What I ate yesterday, I had one of these as well. They're my favorite. The nudge to fudge flavor specifically is so good. I also got, I think it's like a caramel and popcorn one, which I'm not a huge fan of. They'll probably stay in the cupboard for a while. I'm not in a rush to get through those. But I also grabbed the third flavor, which was sold out last time, so I'm happy to have these and I'm excited to give them a try. So this flavor is the Go Nuts for donuts. It's got churro pieces in it and it seriously looks amazing. So fingers crossed this one tastes as good as the nudge to fudge, but otherwise I definitely recommend this one as a front runner. It tastes so good. It's just chocolatey enough that it's almost like a chocolate bar. It's almost as good as having a chocolate bar, but it's less than 110 calories. So way better for you. And then I also grabbed 2 loaves of our usual low GI white bread. So if you were here last week, you would have seen that we accidentally got 4 loaves of bread. So I wasn't planning on getting 2 loaves this week, except to my surprise, we actually got through 3.5 loaves of bread between us all. So we ended up with not much left at the end of the week. So we definitely needed to grab 2 loaves of that. I also grabbed our usual 2-litre A2 light milk. We've been grabbing 4 litres of this lately, except last week we just didn't get through it all for some reason. So I just grabbed 2 litres and it should be enough. Otherwise we do have a long life in the cupboard that should get us through till next week. And another thing that we ran out of this week was a few of our spices. So I only managed to grab some garlic powder. I went ahead and grabbed the really big one this time because we just use this in basically everything that we cook now. I'm obsessed with garlic. I mean, isn't everyone? But that is everything that is in our grocery haul. So I'm going to go ahead and, I will leave the price on the screen here. I normally get you guys to take a guess at how much you think this grocery haul is, except I think there's enough going on in today's video. So I'll just leave the price across the screen here, and then let's go ahead and rewind back to yesterday and I will show you what I eat in a day. Good morning, friends. So I feel like with breakfast, I am a little bit of a creature of habit and I pretty much have the same thing every single morning. Our wake ups are usually around 6 or sometimes even 5:30 with the young kids, so I feel like I don't want too much of a thought process going into it. I'm still half asleep. But a couple weeks ago in my grocery haul, I actually ordered some low GI white bread and they substituted it with this Abbott's bread, and I have to say, as toast, it's actually really nice. It has a good crunch to it, and although it was a substitution, I probably would say I'd get this again on purpose one day. But I'm just going ahead and popping those into the toaster, and while they are toasting, I'm just getting myself a cup of coffee here. So I'm just using one of my Nescafe sachets here. I stock up on these all the time when they go half price, and this morning I've just picked out the vanilla latte one. I'm not a huge fan of the new ingredients in their vanilla latte sachets, but it's still a lot more flavor than the usual cappuccino ones that I pick out, so I thought I'd spice it up a little bit this morning. So then I'm just adding my boiling water here, and I don't know if everyone does this, but I do like to add milk to mine and also a little sprinkle of the chocolate topping on top, but it definitely doesn't need milk if you don't want to add it. It already has powdered milk in it. And then I am just spreading some Proactive buttery onto my toast and also having the Aussie classic Vegemite on top of that as well. I sometimes switch out my toppings, but Vegemite is a go-to for sure. It's one of my favorite toppings, and it also has a lot of B vitamins in there, and it is proven to help with anxiety a little bit, which don't really quote me on that one, but when I was down the rabbit hole of researching on Google one day, that came up. So I do try to choose Vegemite more times than not just because of that reason. And I also don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I don't like melted butter on my toast. So I always try to let my toast cool down a little bit before adding the butter. And I just thought I'd point out here, if you haven't had Vegemite before, this is how lightly you should spread it. I feel like my US viewers are so disgusted by Vegemite, but a few people have told me that they did spread it on a little bit more like Nutella, and I feel like that's where it's all going wrong because not even I could eat it spread like Nutella. But if you're not in Australia, I would love to know if you've tried Vegemite before and what your thoughts are on it. So it's about 10:20 in the morning now and we are all hungry again, so I'm just making up a big batch of smoothie to share between us all. I've got frozen strawberries, zucchini and banana in here, probably about 2 cups of fruit all up, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw all of that into the blender. And then I have my cup of water here just to help thin it down a little bit. That also helps it go a lot further when you're sharing it between 3 people. Next, I'm just adding in a fair chunk of yogurt here, probably about a cup to that one. And today I'm also going to be adding in about a handful of this frozen spinach, as well as about a teaspoon of black and white chia seeds and a teaspoon of flax seeds. Then I'm just going to blend that down for about 2 to 3 minutes. I've also shared some of our favorite smoothies on my channel here before, so I'll leave the video for that link down below if you wanted to check out those. They're actually all dairy-free smoothie recipes, so if you are into that kind of thing, definitely check out that video. Now the color is not the best, but if you've been here a while, you know that we have smoothies all the time in this house, so the kids really just don't mind what color it is, luckily. But I also wanted to just quickly mention these Subo bottles again. I've been using these for a couple months now. I actually have a discount code that I will leave for these in the description box down below if you wanted to check these out for yourself. My kids absolutely love them. They're basically like a reusable pouch, except they can't be squeezed, so it's perfect for babies, especially when they're starting their first solids. You can use them for purees, like apple puree, you can use them for smoothies, or even just for yogurt. The way that they work is by a little platform at the bottom. It suction caps up as they drink through this straw. I think they are genius, and I just honestly, I could not recommend them enough. For lunch today, I just have a super simple sandwich I've thrown together. So I just have spinach, turkey, cheese, and some sliced tomato, as well as some of this sweet mustard sandwich pickles spread. I love adding this to any cold meat sandwiches. It just makes it taste so much better. And then I also meal prepped some hard-boiled eggs this week, so I've just gone ahead and sliced one of those up, and I've just added my favorite all-purpose pepper seasoning on top. So it has hit that magic hour of 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I really need another coffee. Unfortunately, I have had to swap to these decaf cappuccinos now in the afternoons. My anxiety has just gotten a little out of control, and this is one of my ways of controlling it, is just by cutting down on my caffeine intake. And then I'm going to the cupboard to pick out a muesli bar. So today I am on these Crave bars lately. I love the nudge to fudge flavor. They just taste so amazing. I also am a huge fan of the Fiber One popcorn bars, but at the moment I am loving these Crave bars. I have tried all 3 flavors now, and the nudge to fudge is definitely a front runner. For dinner tonight, the kids and my partner are just having some ravioli bolognese, so I thought I would heat myself up some of our sweet potato soup. I made a huge batch of this, as I said earlier, so I've just gotten one of the smaller containers out for my dinner tonight, and I'm just going to make a couple pieces of toast with butter on it to go alongside this soup. So it is 8 o'clock now, the kids are in bed, and I am treating myself to an ice cream after another day of surviving a lockdown. So I've just got one of these mini drumsticks in the original flavor, and that basically sums up what I eat in a day. Okay friends, so that is everything that is in this week's grocery haul and meal plan and what I eat in a day. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please go ahead and leave it a huge thumbs up before you leave, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below so that you are notified of next week's video when it is uploaded. And before you leave, if you have time today, don't forget to head on over to Bethanie's channel over on Budget Bethanie. Her links will be in the description box down below. She would love to have you over there. Don't forget to say hi and let her know that I sent you. But until next week, I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you back here again really soon with a brand new video. Bye.